they come to the checkered flag. A last lap pass to Daytona.
When I was a kid, I used to dream of Daytona. There's no other place.
Coming off the turn two, down the back straightaway, door to door.
Man, it's bumping and banging. It's old school racing.
Kale hits him.
I won the Daytona 500. I won the Daytona 500.
The big one happens.
Trucks crashing along the outside wall.
It just happens. It's Daytona.
There's no better way to race Daytona than in a truck. It's the way racing used to be.
Plenty of horsepower underneath the machine of that truck.
He shows the way, has an advantage of a truck link.
Brendan Gaughan is there. All kinds of room, may not have to deal with any more lap traffic. He's got a good, healthy margin.
Ted Musgrave is victorious.
It looks to be a three-truck race.
Here they come, dead even at the line.
It is the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed, and this is our pre-race show, bringing you all of the action prior to the start of this race, and that is being presented by Craftsman. It has been 3 months since these trucks were on a racetrack, and now the excitement continues to build, and it's building up here in the booth with me, guys. I'm having a lot of fun. Everybody, we are having a lot of fun up here in the booth. I'm Rick Allen, joined by veteran Winston Cup champion crew chief Barry Dodson and multifaceted race and truck driver Dorsey Schrader. And Dorsey, I'm an announcer, and I got to imagine as a driver, you got to be going crazy.
And I am so pumped. They usually save the best for last. Not here, boys. The Craftsman truck race is going to be the best thing you've seen in a long time. This is old school racing, bumping and bagging, 190 mile per hour, no restrictor plates. Barry, what we've seen this weekend, man, look at my hair on my arm. Whoa.
Oh, man, we've seen some of the greatest draft sessions you'll ever see up here this week. Today, the fans at home are going to get to see it. It's like the old song says, there's a little something special about a pickup man, and we're going to see it.
We're going to go down to the pits and talk to a pickup man, and that is Ray Dunlap.
Well, thanks, Rick. What a great place to be right here at Daytona to kick it off, the 9th season of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and we'll bring you all 25 races live right here on Speed. I'm sure glad to be part of the group, and this guy is pretty glad to be where he's at. Another pole, man. Congratulations. A great job in qualifying. But I got to ask you, last year you finished second 6 times. Isn't that driving you crazy?
It sure is. You know, there's no better place to start than on a pole. We've been working hard. All the guys at Ultra Motorsports and the Fab Shop built us an awesome Speedway truck. And, you know, we'd like to get this Team ASC CarQuest Dodge in Victory Circle and get the monkey off our back early on in the season. And it's going to be an exciting race. You never know what's going to happen, but I'm ready to get it started.
How big of a deal would it be to get that first victory right here at Daytona?
It'd be incredible. You know, all the history here at the Daytona, you know, during this whole week, there's so much excitement. And to cap it off with a victory and stand there in victory lane where all the greats have, you know, it'd be definitely the biggest thing that ever happened in my career.
Okay, good luck. That's Jason Leffler. He's on the pole. Now let's check in with my broadcast buddy. Here's Phil Parsons.
Ray, great to be a part of this Craftsman Truck Series on Speed. And, you know, guys talk about it doesn't take much talent to drive around this racetrack. And maybe you can get away with that qualifying. It's not that hard to drive around here one truck at a time. But, Bill Lester, you had a very eventful 2002 Daytona race, to say the least. You had a great save early on in the race, and then you got caught up in an accident, running extremely well, not of your making. And then you had a little bit of an exciting situation yesterday. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we did. We were out there in the draft with a couple of trucks behind us, and next thing I know, the front end basically does a nosedive because we got a piece of rubber in the carburetor, and it basically just shut the motor down. And before I could even wave my hand, I guess the 16 truck got in the back of me. Not too bad, and not too bad for our truck, but you know, we're going to soldier on. We're going to be fine.
How about you've got a couple teammates out there? How important is that going to be for you?
You know, it's going to be real big. Having Bobby Hamilton and Chad Chaffin out there, it's going to allow us Dodges to go right to the front and stay up there, I'm hoping. So we're very optimistic for this race. You know, I want to thank Dodge and the Dodge dealers and Dodge Motorsports for this opportunity, but let's get it on now. I'm tired of talking about it. Let's make it happen.
Bill Lester going to make his 29th career start, trying to improve on his career best of 11th. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, thank you, Phil. We see all the drivers getting ready in a very family atmosphere here as you see David Starr in the Spears Manufacturing blue suit. Ted Musgrave looking to try to get another win in this long series. He's had plenty of wins in this Craftsman Truck Series. And here are the faces of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Excitement is building. We will be right back with more pre-race coverage after this.
Isn't that telemetry stuff they show during the race cool? Well, what if you could see it all race long for all 43 cars? You can if you have Track Pass with Pit Command, where you control multiple views from your computer. Just log on to America Online, enter keyword NASCAR, or go to NASCAR.com. With Pit Command, you'll never watch a race the same way again. It's live, only better. NASCAR.com, America Online, keyword NASCAR.
Bill Tendetsky, mechanic, driver, crew chief. Relies on himself and his Craftsman tools. Bill may never take a checkered flag at Indianapolis or a victory lap at Darlington, but his tools have. And even though Bill doesn't have all 1,800 Craftsman hand tools, the ones he has will race with him this weekend. Craftsman makes anything possible.
I am a soldier, an army of one. Even though I am part of the strongest army in the world, I am my own force. With the latest technology, training, and support, who I am has become better than who I was. And I'll be the first to tell you, the might of the U.S. Army doesn't lie in numbers. It lies in soldiers like me. Specialist Mark DeCarli. I am an army of one, and you can see my strength.
A man's got to take care of the things he loves, which makes Meguiar's Rich Leather Wipes a real friend. Nothing moisturizes deeper or conditions and protects leather better. Meguiar's wipes are plush and specially textured to get more nutrients to the leather, to leave it clean and rich.
Honey.
They'll make any leather look gorgeous, and that's good, because a man's got to take care of the things he loves. All of them. Meguiar's. Smart guys finish best.
Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Florida Dodge Dealers 250 is brought to you by Craftsman, the official tools of NASCAR and NHRA. Last year's Daytona Truck Series race provided plenty of excitement. Series veteran Rick Corelli looked stout all day. Late stages of the race, a multi-truck accident red flagged the action and set the stage for a green-white checkered shootout. Coming to the white flag, Presley made his move along with the help of his fellow Dodge drivers. And it was Presley in his first ever NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series start, taking the checkered flag and making it back-to-back victories for Bobby Hamilton Racing. Now let's head down to Ray.
Well, Rick, what was really cool about that victory, it was Robert Presley's very first start in the series, and what an unbelievable win to come to the Big D and get to hold up that trophy. Tell me about your chances of doing the same thing again today.
Hey, it looks good. This Jim Harris truck and Dodge is running awfully good. Been unloaded it. Thing was pretty fast. In practice, been fast. So we got a lot more experience here this year than we had last year. So I think it's going to be a little tougher.
And guys, I think experience will be a big factor in the outcome of today's race.
And again, we talked about Bobby Hamilton there. He used to drive for Bobby Hamilton. Bobby Hamilton has had a lot of success in Winston Cup, and now he is bringing his team. He has a 3-truck team that he's bringing to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Well, that's a big choice.
Bobby Hamilton is a first-time winner. Craven won't win. Hamilton will.
After 12 years and 4 wins in Winston Cup racing, Bobby Hamilton found himself without a ride at the end of 2002. Instead of hopping in a new car, he decided to go in another direction, somewhere with less stress and hopefully more success, somewhere like the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
You know, I've worked hard a long time in Winston Cup, and harder than what most people would think, because I always made myself be such low profile that nobody never noticed me much. You do this crap long enough. I shouldn't say crap because I really liked what I did. You do Winston Cup long enough that you get tired, and it gets to be such a routine that you're tired when the year starts. And ever since I made this decision, I knew it was not a real bad decision. When I made this decision to do this, I went to bed, and every night since then I've slept 7 or 8 hours, whereas usually 4 hours was a big night of sleep for me.
And the extra rest will be needed. As the owner of Bobby Hamilton Racing, he's calling the shots at an organization that is quickly making an impression in the Craftsman Truck Series. The team has won 2 of the last 3 races at Daytona, with an impressive 9 wins and 15 poles in their 4-year history. And Hamilton is counting on his double duty, giving them the upper hand.
I think it's something I can take from a competitor and add to the owner standpoint. I've done that many times on hiring drivers and hiring help and things like that. Then I can take the owner standpoint and apply to winning the championship. Because even though I'm in my own stuff, I won't do stupid stuff running for a championship, because the owner will come out in it.
Hamilton, the owner, will be busy enough with 3 trucks entered in every race this season. His teammates and employees will be Chad Chaffin, running his first full season in the Craftsman Truck Series, and Bill Lester, entering his 3rd season with BHR. With the boss now constantly on track and at the shop, Hamilton's teammates are hoping his experience and guidance will rub off.
Bobby's an awesome driver and an awesome truck owner, and he wants these teams to be the #1, the catalyst team in this series. I feel like I'm with one of those teams that can compete week in and week out and not just spotty here and there.
He appreciates everything that I'm going through out there, and he can kind of guide me as to where I need to go and what I need to do. And, you know, I've said it before, if I could just pick up half of what he's forgotten, I'm going to be a better race car driver.
I think being such a careful racer and good on equipment that I sort of got labeled is not trying. That's not been the case after all. So I said, you know something? I'm tired of people saying stuff like that. So again, I'll just go back to my own deal. If they say it now, I'll fire them.
Bobby, great to have you part of this truck series on Speed. You've got a lot of Winston Cup experience. You've wanted a racetrack like this at Talladega in the Winston Cup car. But we've got 2 teammates with admittedly a little bit of experience. So how can you keep one eye on ahead trying to win this race and the other eye on them?
Well, you know, it's their job to do what they can do. If we could all get hooked up, that would be nice. But needless to say, in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the competition is real fierce right now. There's a lot of really good trucks out there. So from an owner standpoint, I would like to work with my drivers. But from a driver standpoint, I got to do what's best for me. So we just sort of split our ways. And if we can get hooked up, we will. If not, we just every man for himself.
Bobby Hamilton, 2 career wins, and is going to try to improve that this year. Let's go back up top to the guys in the booth.
And those 2 career wins came from Joe Ruttman in 2001 and Robert Presley in 2002. Robert Presley's number 18 has changed numbers to 8, and now Bill Lester's on board. And so we will come back with more pre-race activities here on Speed. The excitement continues to build for the start of this one, the Florida Dodge Dealers 250.
Hey, is that Octane 93 you're wearing?
Yeah, you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Dodge, grab life by the horns.
World Rally lives on Speed.
You're the best in the world.
No one gets you closer.
Celebrating America's love affair with the car. This is Speed Channel.
I began losing my hair about a year ago. Is it ever gonna stop?
What causes it to fall out anyway?
Let's say I'm ready to do something about my hair loss. What are my options?
Why me?
It's hard to know what to do when you start losing your hair. That's where Bosley Medical comes in. For over 25 years, people have turned to us for answers to their questions about hair loss and hair restoration.
So what is natural hair restoration? Where does the hair come from? Is it permanent?
Does the hair actually grow?
To find out, just call this toll-free number. We'll send you this free video and comprehensive guidebook that give you the real facts about hair loss and the choices you have for dealing with it. Financing is available, so call now and discover how Bosley Medical has advanced the science of natural hair restoration, how they use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. You'll also meet people who were once losing their hair and see what they looked like then and now.
But here's the big question. Do you think my barber will remember me?
Learn about all your options. Call now and get the information you need to determine if hair restoration is right for you.
Hi, I'm Andy Ginger, Vice President of Brand Management for Sears. Welcome to the start of the 2003 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. Craftsman has been part of this great racing series since it began in 1995, and we've watched it grow, bringing you the toughest brand of motorsports. 2003 will be the best year yet. We have talented drivers, a 25-race schedule, and best of all, Speed Channel will bring us the action like never before. Later today, this toolbox will go on the roof of the winner's truck. I hope you'll join us all year, either at the racetrack or on Speed Channel, because we have 24 more of these to give away and 36 race teams that want one. Enjoy the race.
We're back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series pre-race show. And guys, a lot has been made of, and everybody keeps asking me once I join Speed, what are the differences between the trucks and the cars?
Well, we'll take a look at it here. Roof height doesn't, from a driver's standpoint, mean a lot, except I got more room to get in. But, Barry, you got a problem there.
Yeah, 8 more inches in roof height, 59 versus 51. But in a way, that's a plus. A driver behind the driver can see a lot more hand signals and this and that. There's a lot more room in the truck.
The truck's got a little longer wheelbase at 112 inches over the Cup car at 110. Makes it a little bit more compliant in the middle of the corner because you got more room to slide if you want to make it that way.
Yeah, and those extra 2 inches, Dorsey, that's basically just a better ride.
Now, induction is a major deal here. Now, we're talking about ram and cowl. The truck's having ram air. You want to explain that, Barry?
The ram air comes from 2 inlets in the front of the truck, the very front on each side of the radiator. They can be 24 square inches each. They go up, they flow under the hood into a 2-inch hose. Last year we had 3-inch. The 2-inch hoses have taken away 75 to 80 horsepower. You can see the scoops up front right here. As a Winston Cup car, totally different, and that's, by the way, the body is on it.
Both cars and trucks weigh 3,400 pounds. Both use a 358 cubic inch V8 motor. Both run over 180 miles per hour. Difference, 390 carburetor, no restrictor plate for the truck. A 750 on the Cup car with a big restrictor. What it means from a driver's standpoint is that I can lift off the throttle in the truck and not pay the ultimate penalty, drop to the back of the line.
Exactly. You can just stay on the throttle, ride the brakes, and manipulate the truck.
And so, guys, we have the comparisons, we have the similarities, we have the differences. You see there, the Craftsman Truck Series trucks are putting out a lot more horsepower than the cars, but there have been some technical changes to maybe slow them down a little bit. Let's head back down to the pits and Ray Dunlap.
Well, Rick, we want to talk a little bit about that ram air induction. Just imagine you're the air coming down the side of a truck when we're going 190 miles an hour, and now you got to shoot right over here to the side to come in this very small front hole in the grill. Now, that thing comes up through a hose that goes to the air element. It used to be 3 inches wide like this one right here, but they said they've got too much air in there, so now they've reduced it with a collar like this. So instead of being 3 inches, that hose is now 2 inches. Now, that air shoots right into the air cleaner and goes through an air element just like this one. Now check this out. This is an air element I took out of a truck yesterday, and here's the big problem. Because the air comes from the front of the truck, it gets a lot of this garbage in there, debris and pieces of rubber that came off the track. Check this out. Look at all that stuff that's on the inside of this air element that just came out of a truck. A lot of the engine tuners are worried that all this debris is going to cut down on horsepower. And also there's a problem at the back of the truck. And here's Phil with more on that.
Thank you, Ray. These trucks tested about 3 weeks ago down here in Daytona, and at that time the Dodges were super fast. So NASCAR, in order to level the playing field, decided to make some changes. Right now you're looking at about a 65-degree spoiler angle. That's what everybody had when they came down here to test. Right now the Chevrolets remained at 65 degrees, but they allowed the Ford to drop back to about a 60-degree spoiler, which picked them up about a quarter of a second. But they made the Dodgers, who are ultra fast, move all the way up to a 70-degree spoiler, which is right about here. So that's the NASCAR's way of leveling the playing field. Rick?
And so with the spoiler changes, Barry, we see that 60 degrees for the Fords, hopefully to speed them up. How much, like in seconds, does that mean?
It's 2/10 of a second with it back, 2/10 of a second. Penalty, stand it up. It's going to be nothing today. We get a 25 truck draft out there, it's nothing. It's just going to make the car drive, good or bad.
How does that affect racing, though, for you?
Well, it's not going to hurt it. It's parity. It's made all three makes about the same speed. We've seen that in the practice. We've had Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge all there right together. The spoiler is just slowing it up. You don't feel it so much as a driver. I mean, it's not doing that much. It gives you a little bit more rear downforce, a little bit more lift in the front, but they've tuned that out already.
It's very minute. It was parity in qualifying. In racing, it's very minute.
And I've watched during drafting and practice and everything. It's exciting racing. It is making for exciting racing. It doesn't matter what you're driving, a Dodge, a Ford, or a Chevy. It's going to be exciting racing. And we take a look at the championship contenders that are up on top of the grid right there. One of them being the one of Ted Musgrave. He's got to be a favorite for this championship this year.
Well, he's one of the favorites, no doubt about it, with his experience. But there's a lot of experienced guys. This is not backyard racing anymore. This is serious stuff. Bobby Hamilton stepping out of the Cup. Another guy you better watch. I
think we got more veterans now, more experience at this type of racetrack in this event today than we've ever had. You've got a lot out there. Take a guy like Terry Cook. Had an up and down season last year. Look for him to have a great season. Championship contender, no doubt.
Yep, and one championship truck that's down on the starting grid is the number 16 IWX Motor Freights of Travis Quapple. Let's go down to Ray.
Well, Rick, they did win the title last year, and in the last couple of seasons, this driver, Travis Quapple, has won races, but now he's got some big shoes to fill. And Travis, it appears to me like you got a pretty steady truck here. Tell me about your chances of winning at the biggest race of the year.
I think we got a pretty good chance, you know. I'm really proud of the IWX team, Dave Fuge and Dave Fuge Jr. They did a great job the last couple of days working on race setup stuff, and we really found something towards the end of happy hour. Really seemed to make this truck work on top and bottom, middle. Drives good up off the corner. I can make good runs on guys, and Mark Smith built a great horsepower under the hood. So I think we got a pretty good shot. Just need to be smart and be there at the end.
This team won last year on consistency, so you know they can do it. But how many victories do you actually think these guys and you as a driver can get this year? Come on, give us a prediction.
We go at every race thing we can win, you know, and we wouldn't show up if we didn't think we can win every race. But realistically, I think I can win 5-6 races. I know the team can do it. They did it last year, and I want to start up front more and get some more poles and win some more races. When we can do that, we'll be at the championship table.
Okay, good luck. That's Travis Quapple, and he starts back here in 7th position. Now let's go to Phil.
Standing here with Ted Musgrave, third place qualifier. Ted, you won 10 races over the last 2 years. You were second to points 2 years ago, third last year. This team really is essentially the same as it was last year. So you gotta feel good about your chances to get that championship this year.
Yeah, that's true. We never won here at Daytona at the Mopar truck. We sat on the pole before, so the only lap I want to lead is the last lap. That's the most important, and happy Valentine's Day, my mom, Debbie, and everybody else back at home. Thank you.
Ted Musgrave looking for win number 11. Let's go back up top.
Thank you, Phil. And that was a good comment that Ted got in there. I wanted to make sure that we all got that happy Valentine's in, too. It's a great day. We're 17 minutes away from the start of this one.
Hi, I'm Sam Amolo. You know, the key to any project is using the right tools, including the right tools for keeping your hot rodding garage looking like new. For years, I've used Grease Lightning for those tough jobs, and now Grease Lightning's introduced another tool for cleaning. Orange Blast is the premier super strength cleaner degreaser. It cuts through tough grease and grime, and it's safe on most surfaces. Combining Grease Lightning's secret formula with the natural degreasing power of pure orange oil makes Orange Blast the best. The right cleaning tool, Grease Lightning Orange Blast.
Dirt bikes, road bikes, Harleys, and more. Two-Wheel Tuesday is the one day devoted entirely to motorcycles. If you like going twice as hard on half the tread, then Tuesdays are your day. Two-Wheel Tuesday, every Tuesday exclusively on Speed.
Do you have good credit?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you only think you have? Do you know how to check your credit report and find out? A surprise on your credit report could mean you'd be turned down for a mortgage, a car loan, even a credit card. Which is why you should log on to freecreditreport.com. At freecreditreport.com, we'll show you how to find out online what's in your credit report, who's been checking it, and whether everything's accurate. So log on to freecreditreport.com today. You're going to do it now, aren't you? Great. Now, how about you?
Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Florida Dodge Dealers 250 has been brought to you by Craftsman, the official tools of NASCAR and NHRA. The excitement continues as we get ready for those very famous words that get this thing underway. And the guys are all strapped in the trucks now. I mean, what's the excitement now, Dorsey?
The driver's heart is in his throat. He says, come on, you guys, get this thing going. I'm hot in here. I want to get this going. I mean, you're pumped up right now, just like I'm feeling right now.
And let's throw it down to Hal Marchman for the invocation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the U.S. Navy presents today's colors, to be followed by our invocation delivered by the Reverend Hal Marchman.
Almighty God, we pause at this important time in this sport to give thanks for all of the wonderful people who have shown up today and who participate. And we pray your blessings upon all who make this possible, and we invoke your spirit on our lives, and we give you thanks. Shalom and amen.
Please remain standing as local singing sensation Mary Ann Douglas performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Mary Ann, and how about giving a round of applause for the Navy F-14s from VF 143, based at Naval Air Station Oceana, Virginia. And now, to give the command, please welcome back today's Grand Marshal, Mr. Tom Myers.
On behalf of all the Florida Dodge dealers, it's my privilege and my honor to say the command, drivers, start your engines.
The motors are fired up, and we're fired up right here on Speed.
Bill Tendetsky, mechanic, driver, crew chief. Relies on himself and his Craftsman tools. Bill may never take a checkered flag at Indianapolis or a victory lap at Darlington, but his tools have. And even though Bill doesn't have all 1,800 Craftsman hand tools, the ones he has will race with him this weekend. Craftsman makes anything possible.
Do I want to know?
We're celebrating the Kawasaki Big Top Blowout.
There is no Big Top Blowout. This is the promotion.
It's the Kawasaki Rev Up. Buy select new motorcycles, ATVs, mule utility vehicles, or jet ski watercraft and pay nothing until next year.
No elephants? No elephants.
0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest till 04. But hurry, offer ends soon.
But I was gonna shoot the little guy out of a cannon.
Maybe next time.
What's up, dude?
You've stolen the drink of the gods. Now suffer my wrath. As punishment, you must hand over your winged sandals.
I don't need these ancient Greek sneakers anyway. I found something better.
Better than the divine ambrosia?
Yeah, it's Red Bull.
Red Bull, a new drink of the gods?
Nah, it's a new cold drink on Earth. It's more fun down there anyway.
And how do you plan to get back without your winged sandals?
With Red Bull. It gives you wings.
Ready? Go!
You need to make a collect call? Just dial to the center with 1-800-CALLATT. It's free for you and cheap for them. He's gone.
Save on every call. Dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Check out Sunday's Winston Cup race from an insider's perspective on Winston Cup Wednesday.
A guy that messes up that many times needs to go back and learn how to drive.
Winston Cup Wednesday nights at 8, exclusively on Speed Channel.
Coming off the third two, down the back straightaway.
Welcome to Daytona.
Plenty of horsepower underneath the machine of that truck.
And he shows the way, has an advantage of a truck link.
Brendan Gaughan is there. All kinds of room, may not have to deal with any more lap traffic. He's got a good, healthy margin.
Ted Musgrave is victorious.
It looks to be a 3-truck race.
Here they come, dead even at the line.
It's here, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed. And it's time for us to get underway. We have all of the trucks fired up for the Florida Dodge Dealers 250 right here at Daytona International Speedway. A beautiful day here in Central Florida. Currently 66 degrees, humidity 46%. The winds out of the and will be into their face going down the backstretch, just very slight, 5 to 10 miles an hour, and slightly overcast, guys.
Going to slow them up in the straightaway a little bit. Not much. That's not much wind. You won't feel it coming off the corner. What I would say is, hey, it's a perfect day for racing.
We take a look at how this race shapes up with our race analysis. The truck starting 36 trucks. They'll go 100 laps.
Big purse here, $747,000. Pit window between 33 and 35 laps.
And that may get better as we go on. These guys haven't had a great opportunity to check mileage.
Here's the Craftsman track description. It's a 2.5-mile tri-oval. Banking in the corners 31 degrees. In the tri-oval, 18 degrees.
3,400 feet down that back stretch will get you up to 190 miles an hour in the draft. Front stretch 3,800.
And we take a look at how we start. This is the U.S. Army starting grid. In row 1, we have the Bud pole sitter, and that is Jason Leffler. A year ago, he had 8 poles, and yet no victories. On the outside of him, the defending champion in this race, Robert Presley. In row 2, Ted Musgrave has 10 career wins in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Ed Barrier on the outside of him, normally crew chief, but he jumped into Kevin Harvick's truck.
So 3, Chad Chapin right in there, and then Bill Lester, his teammate in the number 8 Dodge. Travis Quapple, don't count him out. He's going to be a good superstar here.
Don't count him out. I tell you, the fastest truck I've seen all week is a truck of Bill Lester.
Right there, a lot of experience. 52 Chevrolet. That is Mike Wallace out of St. Louis, one of my buddies.
Spears Manufacturing 75 of David Starr in row 6, and outside of him the Orleans 62 of Brendan Gaughan.
Now let me tell you, some of these guys haven't been here before. Some of these guys, Tina Gordon, she hasn't been able to get the truck into drafting practice. We'll see her in a minute. Andy Hillenberg, a lot of experience here. Bobby Hamilton, what can I tell you about that guy?
John Wood will be on the outside of row 8. Inside of him, Rich Bickle in the 07.
Dennis Setzer right there. Another real strong.
Yep.
You saw Randy Briggs, also Rookie of the Year contender.
Lance Hooper, Matt Crafton, Hutter Power there.
There's Tina Gordon, and she didn't have much practice in drafting, so she's going to have a handful of truck here.
Exactly. Keller, Brian Sockwell, graduate of Goodrich Dash Series. L.W. Miller, Michael Dockin, Florida native. Randy McDonald.
And Carl Edwards. There's a story there. Gets into the Jack Roush machine.
Morgan Shepherd.
Morgan Shepherd.
61 years old. 61 years young out there.
And been coming here 51 years, I believe.
G.J. Menon makes it in on a provisional.
Back row there. Stan Boyd and Ronnie Hornaday III, famous name in trucks. The guys who didn't quite make it through qualifying, the ones that missed the field, we'll bring to you. One of the famous names in there, obviously, is Bodine.
Jeff Bodine. And it's a shame. Jeff tried real hard to get into the show. He said in his own words, he wants to finish what he started, referring to the 3-year-ago crash he had here at Daytona.
Ricky Sanders, Eric Jones, and Brian Rose also not able to make the field through qualifying. We'll be back with the green flag right after these messages.
The Aaron's Dream Weekend at Talladega Super Speedway. NASCAR's most competitive track is a dream come true for race fans. Saturday, April 5th is the Aaron's 312 Busch Race and the True Value IROC Series. Sunday, April 6th is the Winston Cup Aaron's $4.99. 2-day tickets start at just $60. So call 256-362-RACE or visit TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, be there. Maybe you'll see me drive the old Aaron's Dream machine.
Or maybe not, I'd guess. Out of there, DW.
Call Talladega Super Speedway at 256-362-RACE.
People are selling tools today on the market that I don't even think they know where they're made, and they're not a quality tool. One thing about the Craftsman tool, it's made here, and you know the quality's good.
1,800 Craftsman hand tools made in America, guaranteed forever.
If something happens to it, you can take it back, and you know where to take it back because you know where it come from.
Over 200 ways to become an army of one. Log on to GoArmy.com.
Cleaning is a blast with Orange Blast. Greasy engines look like new. It's great on tools and shop equipment. Road dirt runs from tires. Cleaning chrome and vinyl is always quick and easy. The cleaning strength of Orange Blast is also perfect for those tough outdoor jobs. And get twice as much with the new value size refill. It's from the makers of Grease Lightning, so you know it has to be good. Orange Blast. When it comes to cleaning, it's a blast.
Welcome back to the Florida Dodge Dealers 250. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series about to kick off their new season. And we take a look at Ted Musgrave in the number 1 there, the Mopar Dodge number 1. Our in-car or in-truck and on-board cameras. And Dennis Setzer in the number 46 with the Axiom Computer Associates on board. Now, Dennis Setzer had to fall to the back of the field because he changed an engine. He was starting in the 18th position. Now he's going to start in the 46th position. We're on board with the number 50 of John Wood, the U.S. Navy number 50 of Wood. Also on board with Bobby Hamilton. Bobby Hamilton in the Square D Dodge. This is Mike Wallace in the Federated Auto Parts number 52. We'll be tagging along with, and Mike Wallace has had success here in this race. Also on board with Bill Lester in the Dodge Motorsports Dodge number 8. There's the number 6 of Ed Barrier. That's Kevin Harvick machine.
Wonder if Kevin's a crew chief today.
He wanted him to be. Here is your Craftsman pole winner, Jason Leffler. Now, if Jason would win this race, Craftsman has sponsored a bonus program that will give $10,000 to the team. As the field is all in line, they've come out of turn number 4, and Mike Dolan takes the pace truck down pit lane. The green flag is in hand, and we are about to get underway with the Florida Dodge Dealers 250.
Watch these Dodge guys. These Dodge guys are going to try to hook up and get single file as fast as they can, try to break away. I doubt they can do that.
America's number 1 tailgate party is underway.
And you see the teammates early on are going to get right in behind each other. You've got Jason Leffler on the pole. Ted Musgrave is right behind him.
These first laps as a driver, you're looking all over the place, trying to get a buddy, trying to get in somewhere, duck out of this wind if you can. Once they get on the back straightaway, they're going to really get going here.
And these trucks build up to speed a lot faster than the cars do.
And that's because, oh, we got trouble right now. Bill Lester already off the pace in the 8 Dodge.
They had problems with him yesterday in practice, and it looks as though continue to have problems with that Dodge.
Just listen in here.
No power. Motor died. Boxes.
What a shame for that man.
Yeah, it started.
Just got it going again.
Could have been the ignition
Calm down
box.
now. We'll get caught back with him. All you gotta do is stand there and run.
And you heard him say we'll get caught back up with him. If these guys continue to run 3 wide like they are, Bill Lester, he gave him quite a head start, but might have a chance to get back up there.
Well, the good news is the truck comes up to speed quicker, and they're punching a monster hole in the air with all these trucks running side by side. It'll take a while for Bill. He's got to keep his calm right now and just get his head down.
Okay, what did he do, Dorsey? He calmed down and found out where the backup ignition system was, flipped it on, had fire again, taken off.
All of these trucks have 2 ignition systems, so if you should have that problem right there, you switch that one off, go to a backup ignition switch. He did that, got her fired up again, so he just took him a second to realize what was wrong, and then that crowd, whew.
Travis Quapple out in front here. And
here we go.
David Starr. Big crash down the front straightaway coming out of turn 4.
Pretty hard hit there on the left front. He obviously got help to slide that far on the asphalt. I'm sure we'll get a look at that again.
Oh, he tore that one up. We'll see David now.
What a shame.
There.
Very disappointing. The Spears Manufacturing 75 coming to rest right in front of the grandstand as David Starr begins to unstrap from his 75 Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet.
The good thing is we can see him moving around and when the net's down.
Watch a replay here if we can see where David is in this deal. Down low, coming off turn 4. He just got a little help, maybe. I don't know.
Looks like he got up into Mike Wallace in the 52.
Big hit nonetheless as you come off that turn 4 and hit that solid concrete wall.
So that's a lot of testing, a lot of time spent, brand new truck, all your hopes down the drain. Biggest race of the year for these guys.
And Bill Lester's caught up.
Bill Lester did catch up.
The safety crew and NASCAR officials down with the 75 and David Starr. You see David, you can see him moving around. He'll be climbing out of the truck. And they hit that wall pretty hard, guys.
You don't hit that wall soft. You know, he came off that corner at 190 miles an hour and went straight down off that banking and kaboom.
We're under our first caution here of the Florida Dodge Dealers 250. We'll be back with more action after this.
For the past 20 years, Hooters has been there. Which is why, as we celebrate our 20th anniversary, we can now say what the skeptics have been saying all along. We're history. Hooters, still winging it after all these years. Come celebrate Hooters' 20th anniversary with 20% off food and merchandise the 20th of every month.
All this week, Speed Channel presents an event so big, it'll take 10 days to complete. NASCAR's biggest week leading up to NASCAR's biggest race, Speed Weeks on Speed. Over 50 hours of coverage live. Breaking news, practice, qualifying, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, ARCA, Goodies Dad, Trackside, Inside Winston Cup. If there's a car on the track, we'll be there live. Speed Weeks on Speed Channel. All this week, only on Speed.
Every day, Ameridad helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called Ameridad. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
Ameridad is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
Ameridebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Just call this number, and regardless of your credit, in minutes you can join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. People like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called Ameridebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 1-800-346-1206. Ameridebt, helping America get out of debt.
Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Florida Dodge Dealers 250 is brought to you by Craftsman, the official tools of NASCAR and NHRA, and by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Let's take a look at why we're under caution right now, as we will be on board with Jason Leffler.
Looking out the back, 2 trucks back, David Starr. Now you're going to see it. Everybody gets bunched up here. I don't know. You can't tell if he gets hit, but he definitely gets turned. And And down he goes. Big hit to the infield wall. Good news, David's all right.
And it looked as though there were 3 wide, and David was trying to maybe creep up. Here we're on board with John Wood.
Going to have to right in his face.
John
right
Wood
there.
slowed way down.
Now take a look right here. We'll see if he gets contact. I think he gets hit right in the corner there. I'm pretty sure he does.
Just gets spun around, guys, and there's nowhere to go right there.
There's no stopping it once it gets turned down off that banking. See the roof flaps up. That would have been an upside down truck a few years back, more than likely.
They have one large roof flap. The cars have 2, and they have one about twice the size, but it did deploy.
And Bill Lester having problems on the start. Let's go down and find out why with Bill.
As Bill Lester's worried mother, looks on, talked to Danny Rollins a few moments ago, and he said, as you guys mentioned, it was definitely the primary ignition system that went out. He switched to the backup, and he seems to be fine. So what really hurt David Starr, obviously, the devastating spin out and crash for David Starr is going to be a big benefit for Bill Lester. It allowed him to catch up. Back upstairs.
And guys, if that caution wouldn't have come out, is there a chance he could have caught up to the pack?
There's a chance. I mean, it would have taken him quite a long time. It might have been all the way to the pit stop for that matter, but he didn't. He wouldn't get a lap down, I don't think.
No, he was strong enough to hold his own for a while. And we might be going green right here, boys.
Now, Bill's got to work the draft. He's all the way in the back now. He's got a real fast truck. There's no doubt about that as we look at his mom. She's a little worried. I'd be worried, too.
You know, we heard that engine miss yesterday when the carburetor was messed up, and that could have blown the first ignition out.
Okay, pace truck is coming off. We're going to get a green here.
Alan Porter, your flag man, has the green flag in hand, and Travis Quapple takes him back to the green.
So can a Chevy lead? Yeah, sure it can. Just did. Travis Quapple takes the Chevrolet out in front of the Dodges.
And a Ford wheel, and a Dodge wheel, and a Chevy wheel.
Ed Barrier down on the inside there, looking to make a move early on, trying to get the horsepower past the other trucks.
You know, Dorsey, we mentioned earlier on, we showed in our stat 600 horsepower, 300 horsepower. The cars and the trucks both run 190 miles per hour.
And of course, the reason for the truck not being quicker is the amount of drag that it takes as it pushes a big hole through the air. And that's what's going to give us some fantastic drafting. You see everybody setting up right now.
Travis Quapple still heads the field, and falling back on the pace, you see the Team ASC number 2 of Jason Leffler dropping back, and he was out there kind of on his own and had to fall back to that second line.
Most experienced guys driving-wise in this entire field are hooking up in the front right there with Ted Musgrave and Bobby Hamilton.
Yep.
Let's go down to Ray.
Guys, just keep in mind, 1 year ago, Mike Bliss won the championship in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. You know where he finished at Daytona? 33rd. So David Starr's got to keep that in mind and realize that even though they've got a tough start to this race, it can be done. Bliss won that championship, but finished 33rd at Daytona.
Very aggressive move by Terry Cook there in the 29. Power Stroke Diesel 29 moves to the outside of Bobby Hamilton as they have engulfed Travis Quapple and dropped him back to about 4th. And now Bobby Hamilton looks to move to the front to see if he can lead a lap here at Daytona.
Boys, we have a 34 truck draft all the way back. 2x2, sometimes 3x3.
Race to the start finish line is won by Bobby Hamilton, and he will lead that lap. Right behind him, Terry Cook.
Bobby worked a long time on race stuff. Look for him to be potent all day long in that Square D Dodge.
Here we go,
Bobby
3 wide.
Jr. watching on there.
3 wide right there in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Now these trucks have a lot more downforce. They make a lot of drag, but they also make downforce. And that means the truck in the middle has got a lot better situation than if it had been a Cup car. You see the Cup cars, and then I've got trouble already. Poor old Tina Gordon's in the pits with the 31. Posted Dodge there.
They got her going without raising the hood. We don't know what happened yet.
Looks like they pulled some tape off the front. I believe there was some smoke coming out, but again, just some minor adjustments for Tina Gordon. She heads back out onto the racetrack.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be up to speed by the time this pack is going to gobble her up, because they're coming through the trial. But right now, she's just exiting pit lane. She'll go a lap down right here.
Yeah, she needs to kind of keep the truck down on the bottom, let the lead group get by, and then take what she can get here.
Let's head down to Phil.
Yeah, looking on at Newt Moore, Tina Gordon there had a little bit of trouble. What we're hearing is she's overheating. We got a report earlier that Dennis Setzer, who was behind her, said her truck was leaking something very, very bad. So definitely overheating. So tough break for Tina Gordon. Looks like she's going to be coming back in is what we're hearing.
Yeah, she's already waving. You can see her in the truck.
She didn't get much time in practice, so they didn't know. They had no drafting practice, Barry, so maybe they just had it taped up too much.
Two veterans running here together. We're on board with Bobby Hamilton. Right behind him, you see Mike Wallace, Federated Auto Parts 52.
If you're Bobby Hamilton looking in the rearview mirror, that's a comforting thing. Look back there and see somebody like Mike Wallace. He knows he can trust him not to do something wrong. If you had a bunch of rookies behind you, it makes you a little bit nervous.
Now this pack of 5, 6, 7 trucks staying in single file line, are they going to try to pull away from these guys racing behind them?
That's what they're trying to do. The veteran guys, like I said, all the real seasoned vets are lined up in a row right there. They'll be running faster than that pack 2 or 3 wide back behind them.
I tell you, I really don't think that you're going to see a big separation in this draft all day long unless it happens to where these drivers run a full pit stop and they get out of sequence on that, because they draft so well. The last place truck is right in line. We've got everybody's out there. There's only 2 trucks tailing the field right now. Everybody else is in one big pack.
See him snaking around there trying to bust that draft from behind him. It's not going to work. These guys, the trucks push such a big, enormous amount of hole in the air. All these guys are getting help.
Bobby Hamilton hugging the yellow line as they come through the corner there and head down to the backstretch.
And you know what? I think you're going to see a lot of Mike Wallace up front today. This kid is cagey, knows how to draft, knows how to stay up front, knows how to maneuver. He not only uses the windshield, but the rear view mirror.
Right on board with that barrier. I just heard him lift. I heard him breathe the throttle when he got 3 wide back there. You could never do that in the Cup car. But with the truck, you can get back on it and look where he is right now. He's got a big run and going right now.
Ed Barrier just went by the #1 of Ted Musgrave as they go by the start-finish line. Kevin Harvick, the owner of that one. And I'm sure he is watching somewhere close to see how his investment is working.
Dare I say they're being very well behaved so far, Barry.
Yes, they are. There's a lot of respect in this series. They're aware that they're running 190. The spotters up top, they're the guys that have the work to do today. And these drivers really have to trust them.
Now, you know, when you're driving like this at 190, all the trucks are running 190 or 188 or 189. Something. They're all within 2 or 3 mile per hour. So when you're driving, it feels like you're stopped. It feels like you're driving 2 or 3 mile per hour. Of course, that is until something goes wrong. And then all of a sudden you realize, oops, I'm doing 190.
And you get the real feel for that, Dorsey, as you come down pit road. You think you're just tiptoeing, and then you got to get down to pit road speed. When you reach that white line that crosses pit road, and oh, I'm still running 85 mile an hour. I'm running 100 mile an hour. I'm thinking I'm stopped. That's not the case at all.
We saw trouble into 125s, and these truck guys are going to have that same thing to deal with when they come off that banking, doing as fast as they are. You run down to 100 miles an hour, you think you can walk.
You see the 46 Axiom there, and he moved from last up to currently 14th position. We're on board with him.
And guess who's right behind him?
Yeah, let me give you a better one. Bill Lester is back up to 16th.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I saw that 8 truck back there, so he's come from dead last after that restart, and he's moved himself all the way up to here.
And Jerry Hill slowing right here.
He's down on the apron. I think he's going to pull in the grass. He must have had a mechanical failure. He's getting out of everybody's way. That's nice.
And, you know, Bill Lester had the fastest pick-em-up truck that I saw yesterday, guys. That thing was awesome. And it's obvious right here to move back up that quickly.
Pulling on the bottom.
Hear him lift a little bit right there as he got that lap car truck in the way.
Setzer get a little loose there as they went by the slower traffic.
Look at this run. Look at this run he's got.
Yeah, the closure rate is awesome.
Great race continues here at the Florida Dodge Dealers 250 here in Daytona Beach. Bobby Hamilton out in front.
Come on, lads! Call yourselves soccer players? You're a bunch of idiots! 5-0, it's only half-time!
Hey, easy, coach. You know what's missing?
Yeah! Talent, commitment, skill, discipline...
No, that's not it. Our defense is great, but we have no winger. Professore, dottore, maestro, you must listen to me.
Speak English!
We need wingers!
Look here, before the second half, we'll all drink Red Bull energy drink.
Why?
Because it gives you wings!
Where he go?
a chance to taste victory! No! Yummy, gooey, cinnamon-covered Domino's Dots. Are you with me?
New Domino's Dots taste so good, we want to give everyone a chance to try them. So now we're giving you an order free when you buy a large one-topping pizza for $9.99, only from Domino's.
I love this job.
Get the door, quick. It's free Domino's Dots.
Give me your backpack.
Mondays on Speed, get inside Winston Cup. Michael, Johnny, Alan, and Kenny recap Sunday's race like no one else. On the track Sunday, on the air Monday. Inside Winston Cup, Monday nights at 7, exclusively on Speed.
Welcome back to Daytona Beach, Florida, and the Daytona International Speedway. We are underway with the Florida Dodge Dealers 250, and the freight train has lined up, guys. I tell you, Bobby Hamilton out in front, punching the hole in the air, and everybody right in behind him. They are moving at well over 188, 189 miles an hour.
And here we go, 3 wide again as they come toward turn 1. Now, that's getting a bit tenuous. Look back in the back here. Everybody's shuffling positions.
And guys are just moving around a lot. I mean, you're seeing Rick Crawford start at 19th, all the way up to 3rd now.
Well, they're feeling out each other right now. Oh, you see a little shuffle right there. See what they're doing, trying to break the draft in the back straightaway. Bobby Hamilton leading that group, driving down to the inside. Shortest way around here. Of course, all the guys behind him are snaking right along with him.
Let's go down to Phil.
Talking with Newt Moore, Bobby Hamilton's leading crew chief right now. Newt, we saw one of your guys run down to your teammate Danny Rollins, crew chief for Bill Lester. You guys talking pit strategy already?
We're just telling them, make sure they understand we go by on a certain number and we come in on a certain number. That's what we're talking about. You can get kind of confused. If you're going to fit on a certain lap, you know, they're going by or whatever. So I just want to make sure they understood.
What lap is that, Newt?
Somewhere between lap 30 and 40.
Oh, that really narrows it down.
Well, that you didn't ask me exactly what lap. You just said about what lap. So
Newt Moore, hold back on me a little bit here.
I think we're looking from 32 to 35 this first time. The last thing you want to do is sit out there and run out of fuel.
Here we're on board with Bill Lester as we take a look at the 46 of Dennis Setzer. And Bill Lester, again, had to drop back. He had problems early on with the ignition, and now he's trying to work his way back up.
Working around the high side right now, Dennis Setzer, and that truck is really doing well. I mean, working up on top there. Look at the people going with him.
You see Chad Chapman moving around in there?
Well, you know, you see Bill Lester coming from the back. What's it tell you? It tells you he's really fast. I'm going to run with him. I'm going to go to the front with him.
Well, Bill's only about 10 truck lengths back from the huge draft in front of him, and I think they can still run side by side, Dorsey, with the hole that these trucks punch and catch them, and they are actually running them down here in less than a lap.
That is a strong Dodge truck right there that he's driving. He just shucked that draft. He's headed for the tail end of the lead draft.
Was that a bump that he just took that?
He probably got a little. They can do that. They can bump draft.
Let's find out more on the 8 with Phil.
Remember, guys, this is the truck called Freak. This won the last 2 races down here with Joe Ruttman and Robert Presley. When I was talking to Newt Moore a minute ago, before we went on, he said, hey, guys, he said, the 8 should be able to get back up with us. He said, I think that truck's better than ours. So look for the 8 Bill Lester to make his way back up to the front.
You know, some people might think that was a long shot pick. I picked Bill Lester to win this thing, not only because of that truck. We know it's a strong truck, but Bill has been learning a great deal about this type of racing.
He's very intelligent, too, Dorsey. Very race savvy, driven a lot of different vehicles, modifieds, and he's a racer.
Guys, I tell you what, the engines are producing so much horsepower, they are making some incredible sounds here. Let's take a look and listen to the sights and sounds on Speed.
Oh, me, out of bounds almost.
John Wood down on the bottom. You see the Navy truck, the 50 right there, was 2 wheels down. Now, he didn't improve his position, but it's getting a little tenuous. What was that noise we heard? That was 20,000 horsepower, just a little bit over.
And he got forced down, it looked like, Dorsey, by Kevin Harvick. He did not advance his position, so he's okay. Now, if you get down there past somebody, you got a big old black flag waiting for you when you get back.
Bobby Hamilton's last win was in a Cup car back at Talladega in 2001. You can get more of the action that you're seeing today tomorrow on Fox. The Coolers 300, 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox.